From here, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to have my one hook in on Mike attempting to take his back. But again, as you guys know, that can be difficult to throw in the second hook. So from here, what we're going to be doing is we're going to have two options. We can always pull our opponent towards us because they have no base with their leg on that side. Or in this particular case, we're also going to attempt to roll over to our opponent's far side. Now, there are a couple small details that are very important and are really going to be the determining factor between success and failure on this one. So from here, imagine I were to either A, make Mike turn out, a guard pass or arm drag him or something like that. Either way, I find myself with one hook in and one hook out. So if Mike's turtled, I've got my hook in, everything's great, but it's hard sometimes, really, really difficult to get the second foot. And now Mike's going to spend his time working to, to deal with this and start to escape. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that if we rotate for a second, make sure when you do take your opponent's back, your hook needs to come in perpendicular to their calf. Because if my foot is parallel as it is right now, it's very easy for Mike to step over my foot and start to dodge. He's windshield wipered over my foot. Now it's going to be very, very difficult for me to get my foot back in. So make sure that when you take your opponent's back, if we rotate this way a little bit, we want to have our our shin perpendicular to our opponent's. So your shin and their shin need to be making a cross to make it as difficult as possible for your opponent to escape. Now from here, again, our goal is always hip control. I have near side hip control with my rib cage and my hips if I start to posture up a little bit, and far side hip control with my right arm. Now, as soon as you duck past here, it limits your opponent's options, but if my arm's kind of hang out here, I don't really have true hip control, so I'm going to punch this down all the way to the ground, like I'm going to the inside of Mike's knee. Now from here, I have two options. We're going to go with the first one, which is going to operate on the assumption that he has no base over here towards his near side. From here, all I'm going to do is pull Mike back to me. Now, I've pulled his hips on top of me, so it's very important that I don't stay here, because if Mike hips up over here, actually, if Mike hips all the way over here, he's going to pass me, he can take my back, he can start to kimura me, Mike's very tough from there. So, what I need to make sure happens is that does not happen, because now I'm forced to try to sit through and retake the back, and it starts adding transitions that Mike can utilize to escape or to improve his position. So, if we come back again, I throw my hook in, make sure it's perpendicular. I'm going to pull Mike to me. So let's rotate this way a little bit, please. Thank you. I pull Mike to me. I reach around. Both hands is called a crotch lock. I reach my right hand underneath, my left hand out from behind, and I lock my hands. Now I'm going to pull Mike to me, and I'm going to extend him away. I want to put his hips on the ground, because that's when friction starts to take in, and he's going to have a harder time getting his hips up and over mine to this side here. So now, once I put his hips on the ground, my goal is to further improve my position. I'm flexible, I can get my foot in here, but he's going to clear that right out because my hips are too low. So what I need to do is put my hand on the ground, scoot higher. Now it's going to be a very difficult time for Mike to get rid of my hook. Of course, it's not impossible by any stretch, but he's going to have a harder time doing it. Because as soon as it comes back out, I can bring it right back in. I can bring it over top of his arm. If we have a gi, I can try to choke him. I can try to not be toe-holded from here. That would be kind of a bummer. But from here, I have a much better angle on my opponent, as opposed to trying to bring my hook in at an unnatural kind of biomechanically weak angle. So one more time here. I've got one hook in on Mike's back. Boom, I catch the crotch lock, I pull him to me, and notice I scoot myself back. Now from this position, we have twisters, plenty of different things there, but I have a better angle to put my hook in, and now we can look to attack the neck.